Thanks for joining us for episode 4 of The Spill. It's Valentine's Day. It's Black History Month, everybody. So we just figured we would start off by talking about the upcoming holiday and what we do for Valentine's Day.
Which is Saturday. No, it ain't
Thursday.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Look how much I'm into it, huh?
So we just want to start from there and just, as a married woman, are you even excited for Valentine's Day?
No, I'm not.
I
mean, I feel loved every day.
Right.
And
so I feel like it's not as big a deal to us, or maybe to me, at least that's how I feel. Yeah. You know, we've had, I can't even think, maybe 17 Valentine's Days together.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're in a long-term relationship, how many bears and flowers can you actually buy someone in candy?
Exactly.
And hell, I don't want to get fat. Anyway, I don't want any candy.
Exactly. So, well, how about, since I'm not necessarily looking forward to this one as much, since we enjoy Valentine's Day, I would say 365.
Yeah.
What are your most memorable Valentine's Day? Good or bad?
Good. I remember one year my husband cooked me, and we wasn't married then, but he cooked like a nice little candlelight dinner.
I think those are some of the best memories.
Yeah, he actually set it up too.
Aww.
It was really cute. It was the thought that counts, because I don't really like going out to dinner on Valentine's Day so much. If I do, it's mostly either like a couple of days afterwards. If it falls on a weekday, we go on the weekend, or just whenever. So it's just
the crowds, you know.
Yeah,
nowadays it's so commercialized. It's like,
right, it's all about money.
Exactly.
And not saying not to get your significant other something, but it's just kind of like, my husband provides for me all year round, no matter what it is. So what makes that day even any different? Exactly.
If you love somebody, if you're with somebody, use every day as an opportunity to show your affection and express how much you love them, you know, on a regular, reoccurring basis.
Right.
I say for me, I think it was like in the beginning too. So when Terrence and I, when we first moved out together, it was on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's
so
cute.
It snowed, and he went to the house ahead of time, and he had them put roses, dozens of roses, all in the house. The house is empty, but it was roses in there, and so that was one of my most memorable. Now it kind of changes. So just to keep it exciting, sometimes we'll still do cards and stuff, or we try to incorporate the kids. But the kids like to cook with me, and we do like a Valentine's candlelight dinner. Yeah, it's like a candlelight. Yeah. So they look forward to that now, since, you know, it's them. They're like, well, what are we going to do? And the crowds of Valentine's Day. But I think it's always important to show the people that you care about that you love them. So
yeah, that's cute.
Use Valentine's Day if you must, but
and I think my most horrible moment is when I was dating this other guy, and I mean, I knew he wasn't on anyway. But anyway, it was Valentine's Day, and he got me and the other chick the same exact card. Like,
what?
It was a card.
How'd y'all find out that it was the same card, though?
Because I'm a fucking detective.
Right.
But anyway, the card, it wasn't necessarily like a card. It was like his picture, and then it had like like you can record a message on it.
Oh, okay.
Like, you couldn't get any
more creative
about the
personalize
situation.
it.
And I was like, ain't that a bitch? But yeah, wasn't like my worst, but it's kind of like a worst memory. But it's just kind of that was funny. It was funny after the fact.
Right, now we can laugh about it. Like, he thought he did something good, didn't
he? What was your worst?
I don't even know if I can remember the worst. I probably blocked it out.
That's a good deal.
Right, I probably blocked it out, honestly. I don't even think I can remember the worst.
So basically, Valentine's Day just bring up thoughts and memories about relationships, period. And so we thought that would be a good topic for this week, is relationships.
Absolutely. From singles to being married, or, you know, even in a committed relationship, I feel like there's different stages.
Or dating.
Right, even dating.
Now, there was some fun times. You kind of split up the time. Because, you know, you're getting some from a... Yeah.
So if along that timeline, when you're first dating, when you're just getting into a relationship, everything is fresh. is there a time frame before you give it up? What do you think? How soon is too soon?
I think it depends on the individuals.
Because, it's a lot of rules out there. Yeah. Everybody tries to say, oh, it's 90, it's 6 months. And
yeah, you can't really have a time on something because literally that's kind of like playing games. It's just when you're comfortable with that person. Now, you don't want to be a hoe out here and just because you don't even know if you really like somebody within 60 days. That's 2 months. Even 90 days, that's 3 months.
Right.
I
feel like it's kind of soon. So to me, I guess it depends on the person and the comfort level in your chemistry. I'm not a big advocate of just jumping to the bed with everybody the first night you meet them. You know what I mean? For one, it takes a lot more than that for us. One, but for two, it's just like you're still figuring out. Okay, is this somebody that I would consider seeing after tonight? You need to further evaluate what they're doing with themselves. You guys have common goals. Could you actually see yourself with this person?
Right.
And in those instances, I think people kind of go about it backwards.
And you don't even see that within 93 months. Now, take it into consideration when you're first dating each other. If you really feel each other, most of the time you spending just about every day with that person. True. So it seems like
waking
it's
up
a
to
long
phone calls,
time.
FaceTime, and stuff like that.
Yeah, different stuff like that. I was dating back in the other days when, the beepers and the pages and the...
Go ahead and tell her, hey, we didn't have FaceTime, did we?
We didn't have no damn FaceTime. You on the phone and the phone hang up, you wake up, phone off the hook. It wasn't no set. Yeah, exactly. It was totally different.
You get I love you pages or you get the page with 911 behind it. Girl, you better call that nigga. Hurry up.
So it was totally different than what it is now. But that being said, and still... I still did not. I've dated a guy for an entire year and never had sex with him.
Right, and I feel like it's common more so with women, but I feel like there shouldn't be just a set 90-day rule. Some people you can spend time together, and at first you might have a chemistry, or there might be that initial chemistry, and then you find out like, this dude has some piss poor ass values, or maybe his feet stink. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's stuff that you wouldn't even know.
And
then
sometimes
jumping into something.
It's a turnoff. Once you do have sex with someone, you don't feel them. It changed the whole relationship. So sometimes you have to build that foundation before you incorporate sex into a relationship.
Absolutely.
I tell people that, well, not people, but like younger kids that a lot, because it changes the dynamics of the relationship once you sleep together.
Absolutely. It can change a lot of things, and you also want to give somebody something to work towards. So if they don't have to get to know your personality, they took you out on one date, and then at the end of the night is dessert. What's the, ladies, what's the incentive for this guy to continue to see you, continue to call you?
That whole fuck side of the menu, that's dating.
Right, exactly.
No, I can pay for my own food.
Exactly.
I'm going to order what I want, and that don't mean you get nothing.
Exactly.
So
you have to I feel like you have to teach a man how to treat you. Teach anyone how to treat you for that matter, but you have to set the tone that, okay, you're going to have to work for it. I'm going to have to get to know you, and there's going to have to be chemistry before anything can go down.
Or how about we're in like a committed relationship where we're just seeing each other, a monogamous relationship. Because if you just having sex with somebody and y'all haven't had a talk and don't even know where each other stand, he could be having sex with someone else.
That is a no-no.
And you could be, and that,
Exactly. No. Don't go with inferred relationships or assumed relationships, rather, to where you spend so much time together, he's baby this, kiss before you leave, and you really haven't defined the nature of your relationship. Are you guys exclusive? Are you actually dating?
Right.
Because I've witnessed, through several acquaintances where it turns out, y'all not together. No. In his mind, he's not together. And here you are doing everything and acting like a girlfriend. And then you can't understand why now he's not returning your calls.
No.
So,
Well, that's the weight thing. Look, I don't have a time for you. It's just, don't be a hoe out here.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I guess unless they decide they want to be a hoe up front. Now then, if you're just looking for a buddy, be safe.
It's up to you.
Wrap it up. Get tested.
Whatever you want to do.
But if you're actually trying to find a relationship, somebody to be with, then it really takes time to where you feel like you're comfortable with that person. You definitely have to have the discussion and define where you're going in the relationship before y'all just jump in the bed. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's nasty to sleep. I mean, you would want, if you're ashamed to tell how many people you done slept with to your partner,
chances are you a hoe. That's what she's saying.
Next.
On the next subject. So moving right along the timeline, like we said we do when we're dating. So let's say, you hit it off, you're in a good relationship, you've established that you guys are going to be intimate, you're together. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's a defined timeline to move in together? Should you move in together or should you wait until marriage? What do you think?
Well, me and my husband moved in together prior to getting married. And I'm not saying it was the best move. I'm not saying that we should have dated differently. It worked out for us. But at the same time, it's kind of like the old saying, why buy the cow if you get the milk free?
Yeah. Because
if you move in, you're doing wifely duties or this, that, and the other, they kind of slow a little bit because, I mean, he went slow.
But I can agree to that to an extent too, but I also feel like, because my faith is, a strong Christian upbringing, it's in the Bible. You don't, cohabitate and shack up until you're married, So of course, coming from that upbringing, my mom, she wasn't feeling it. But to me, you don't really know a person.
Time has changed.
Times change, yeah. But to me, you just don't really know a person, like, do they like to clean up, or are they going to set all their dishes and all their laundry in a pile for a week? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then clean it up. Those are things that you really can't interview and ask. Mm-hmm. You just kind of have to observe. And
do you want to go through those arguments after you're married, newlyweds?
Yes,
bumping heads,
arguing over who's doing the dishes. I don't. That's minute. That's petty, and it happens every day. So where people find out that they're not compatible or they get divorced for irreconcilable differences, and you really haven't went through anything in your relationship because y'all don't live together.
That's a bullshit reason, but yeah.
Y'all
got divorced because y'all don't like each other no more.
You see the basis. It starts the foundation for we arguing over bullshit every day, nagging, nitpicking.
So I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. I did it. It was fine for me at the end of the day.
That's more so what I feel like too. Like it worked for us. It worked for our dynamic, and I was a little apprehensive because you always hear that don't why buy the cow if you're getting the milk for free. But I felt like in some regard I held myself back from doing certain things because I'm like, okay, but I'm not your wife.
But what could you hold back?
Things. Well, that'll be another episode. Okay. But there are things that I just wasn't going to do for you, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There are things that equally benefited me in the household. Of course, I'm going to clean up because I don't want to be surrounded by filth. So I'm going to clean up, you know what I mean? And things like that. But there were just certain things that, as far as fully submitting to him and doing what he asked me to do and things like that, well, no, you don't get that because you're not my husband. So I feel like he was, for us, we bumped heads for a little bit because he was like, well, how do I know you're going to do it when you're my wife? That's a bargain you're going to have to take, but it's just a chance you're going to have to take. So for me,
how about if I'm doing it now and I don't do it when I'm your wife? I mean, vice versa. It could work either way.
It's a balancing effort. You just really have to determine, based on what you're looking for, does this person add value to your life?
And to be all honest, I mean, people don't continue to do the same shit through their whole marriage or while they were dating. Things change.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So don't think, and you hear married people say this all the time. They don't do the same thing that they was doing when we was dating. Because, I mean, you get tired of that shit.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. You just have to switch it up and find ways to find new ways, find different ways to love each other and to be intentional in the relationship and to show each other, because after a while, year 2 is not like year 16. It's just things are different. You know what I mean? For obvious reasons. Maybe you didn't have kids before and now you have multiple children, you know? Maybe you were at the beginning of your career and now you're at the peak of your career. You work longer hours.
Or maybe you just older.
That too. You could be tired. Because I'm tired a lot. After a full day of work, you got your kids, you got your family. That's literally a second job. That's a whole nother job within itself. So.
And a whole nother subject.
Exactly.
So breakups. When do you actually call it quit? And we're talking about being in a relationship. Should we hold this one for the next?
You started it now, gone.
It don't matter.
We
could hold it.
In the theme of Valentine's Day.
We probably shouldn't say breakups.
But
y'all want to break up on Valentine's Day?
People's really going through it. Somebody just got broken up with or broke up with somebody.
Or she just found out she's a side piece.
That too. Which means it's going to be a lonely Valentine's Day, boo.
Yeah. Then he probably going to spend part of the day with you and part of the day with the other one.
So you know what that means. If you are not spending Valentine's Day with your bae, he is not your bae. Do not share your income tax with that man. Do you hear me? Don't let him come back on February 15th.
Oh my
God. Don't let him come back, ladies, because he's on that bullshit. If he don't spend Valentine's Day with you, don't cut him in.
And he ain't got nothing to do later on or earlier that day.
No.
Stop falling for the okie doke.
Exactly. And don't answer the phone at 2 a.m. on Valentine's Day, ladies. Don't do it.
It's no longer Valentine's
It's no
Day.
longer Valentine's Day.
That's February the 15th.
Exactly.
That's Side Piece Day.
Exactly. National Side Piece Day.
Hell yeah.
So
when I used to sell my flowers for Valentine's Day,
did you make an arrangement?
Girl, I had Side Piece Sunday. What do you mean? Like, I know you was with the other one. I ain't gonna tell. You can buy 2. I deliver the next one the next day. Hey, these are customers. I ain't got shit to do with it.
That's right.
Okay,
I'm
just doing my job.
It's confidential with us in regard to business.
One year, I made 6. All right, just
for one guy. Wow. At least he's considerate in some aspects. At least he's considerate. I'll give him that.
I made some money.
So on breakups.
I'm sorry. Okay, breakups. When is it time to let go, ladies? When is it time?
I feel like everybody has their breaking point.
Yeah, and I know that sometimes you ask your friends and other people for advice. Mm-hmm. I mean, because we all talk, you know, regardless of what it is. But if you feel like you're getting to the point where you're putting yourself after your relationship, you need to do some revisiting. Or if you're with someone who's not making you feel like you're contributing to their life or to the relationship,
right,
you need to revisit some things.
If their presence doesn't add any value to your life, then their absence is not going to make a difference.
No.
You can do bad all by yourself. So I feel like everybody does have their own breaking point, but it's up to you to set those boundaries and those lines in the sand before you get there.
Definitely. I mean, me and my husband been through some things. I mean, we met, I was 18 years old. So, of course, we kind of grew up. Yeah, we grew up together in a way. And we were on and off. We went through a lot of stuff, like some cheating things and all kind of stuff.
It comes
and
up,
some people would ask me, like, why did you stay? Why did you do this? Why did you
For some people, they feel like it's a cut and dry answer.
It's not a cut and dry answer. Which is
one-sided, and then I feel like until it happens to you, and then you're like, well, damn, what are you going to do?
Well, it depends on what it was.
Right.
I mean, at that time, I mean, we in our early 20s. You just kind of know the situation. You have to gauge a little bit.
Exactly.
And so I knew what kind of man he was, but I definitely wasn't going to take any disrespect or just continuously go through some bull crap neither.
Right.
So we went through some things, of course. Like I said, we were on and off. Anyway, and people always like, well, how did you know? It wasn't that I knew. I knew what qualities he had.
Right.
And I knew what we were together. And
so
then
you saw the potential.
I seen the potential, and I knew the situation that we had at hand. But once I got to the point that I was like, I mean, there was no more cheating at this point in time. And it ain't like he was just cheating on me every time he turned around. It was just some things. It happened.
Right.
And so once it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm done. And we just going to leave this here. We're going in two separate directions. And I think it's best for us to call it quits.
Right.
I think once, and I wasn't playing a game with him or anything. I just think once you get fed up
mentally, you get to that point that, hey, I'm gonna be okay with this.
You're not playing a game. If you're trying to play games to get what you want, you will never win.
You're playing a game to lose. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
But if you're actually fed up and you're just like, yeah, I'm calling it quits, and it works out in a different way, I mean, kudos. It was good. But I mean, I'm trying to keep it short because we don't have a whole bunch of time to be, but overall.
But I can identify what you're saying, you know, because we were young too. You know, we met senior year in high school. We went to senior prom together, you know. So at that time, you're a kid. Like, you know, there was infidelity in our relationship, on again, off again. You know what I mean? Mostly on, but that's just a gauge of the relationship.
We're growing up.
Exactly.
And when we was off, shit, I had my shit going
too. Exactly. And so I'm not going to sit here and just act like I was, you know, totally innocent in it. But at the same time, I played my part. You know what I mean? It's hard to grow as a couple and you're so young when you're still trying to grow and learn who you are. You know what I mean? And so I can candidly speak about it now, but shit, it was real as we was going through it. You know what I mean? It was real. We can talk about it in this regard now, but I just feel like I wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? I did some things, but you know us
no
ladies.
One's perfect.
Right. I'm not going to do anything for anybody to come and ask you anything about me. They're not going to be sending you no messages, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So as we talked about on the prior episode, it's how women choose to go about things. You know what I mean? So for me, I got to the point where I was like, you know what? We have children together. I'm going to do right by my kids. I'll never keep you away from them. But I have to do what I need to do to go forward and grow as a woman and to provide. And I can handle me. I can take care of me, you know? Right. And it was just kind of at that point where everything just kind of stopped. I'm not in the position I'm not going to beg you to change.
No.
I'm not going to proposition you to change.
No.
I'm just going to
You can't change a man.
You cannot. It's got to be him. He has to want to change for the better.
And you can't change a woman.
You can't change a woman either.
Anyone.
You can't change people. People are going to be who they're going to be. And so if your order of business is to try to change someone so that they can fit into your picture perfect relationship, you are setting yourself up to be heartbroken. You are setting yourself up to be frustrated. It just doesn't happen. So
it's going to be failure.
Exactly. So I think you just have to understand what your line of the sand is, and in anything, be ready to walk away and know that you can move forward and be okay. And if it's meant to be, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But if you continuously finding yourself questioning the relationship, if this person hasn't shown you and proven to you that they want to be with you, or even that they're sorry or
remorseful,
just
a mess, chaotic,
just mess. If nothing is worth your peace,
no,
we put it like that. If it is costing you your peace, you can't sleep at night. It's not worth it.
Or you gotta go through their phones or text messages when they sleep, and you question everything. Right. They don't answer phone, and you like, oh, he must be doing so. That's not a peaceful relationship.
Exactly.
That's not even beneficial to your health.
No.
Stress
and anxiety, depression. That's not conducive to like strong personal health and goals and things that you should want for yourself. Nobody is worth sacrificing your own happiness.
No. So. And then I know some of you ladies, you have men that, you know, they get into a situation, end up in jail. Do you continue to hold it down? Do you hold it down for them?
So
how much time they get?
So hold up.
You know?
So hypothetically, would you talk to a dude that was in jail? If you wasn't married, any of that, just candidly, hypothetically.
Before he went to jail, or?
Well, I know we wouldn't talk to nobody that was already in jail. That's just
right.
Not even the caliber of.
Okay, so I had this guy that I dated, and he actually went to jail. I think he was in jail probably like a month or two. So that wasn't shit. And I went and visited him and stuff. Matter of fact, it's the same dude that did the card.
Why am I not surprised?
Anyway, and but he wasn't in there long. But make a long story short about his ass is the reason why. Well, I left him for many reasons, but one of them is the nigga kept going to jail.
Right.
I said, oh no.
Right.
And then I was in the process of buying a house, and he ended up going to jail again. And he asked me to bail him out, and I was like, well, I don't have any money to bail you out. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, ain't you saving some money for your house? I said, well, yeah.
For my house.
He said, well, won't you just bail me out with that? Your house can wait.
Whose house can wait? I know you. Did you break up with him in jail?
Nah, nigga, you the one gonna wait. Never talk to him again.
Just like that. Just like that.
I don't play them games
at all.
And I was a single mother.
Right.
A single mother who was doing what I needed to do to take care of my child and trying to buy a house. I was 22, 23 years old at that time. Oh no. Don't go for it. I ain't never gave no tax money. I ain't never gave I don't do that. Especially women with kids, women who going through trying to get an education. You have your own bills.
Exactly.
You don't need to take care of no grown man.
A grown man.
Come on now.
Fully able
but anyway,
to get out
back
here
to holding it down. No, I ain't holding it down. I ain't putting no money on your books. I'm already holding you down because I'm paying my taxes.
Right.
You get 3 meals in the cot, and that's about all you're going to get
She
from
said
me.
she's paying for your stay, so you will not get money on your books. Nope. No, you will not.
And we broke up. Okay, I'm not holding it down.
So what if, how long were y'all together though?
We was together about 2 years.
Okay, so just in general, so you wouldn't hold it down.
No, I ain't holding it down.
For that him specifically, okay, you wouldn't hold it down.
For instance, Jules Santana married Kim Bella right before he go to jail. That was the dumbest shit I ever seen. Because y'all been together for how many years, and now
he doesn't want to marry you until he's going away. Can't be around any of the things that was causing him. Get out. Right, any of the things that was causing him to not marry you in the first place. But now that he's gonna be locked up, that's the first thing he wants to do.
You gonna hold it down? And
I feel like for the right person, I would, but there's also a time frame. So it'd have to be a long-term like relationship, like serious fiance. We already in it together. That's the nature of our relationship. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm a ride for mine. If I really have established that I love you, when I love hard. It doesn't come easy. You might have to earn it. You might, be like, oh, she suck at whatever. But I love hard. So I feel like I would hold it down, but it's due to how our relationship it would be. Yeah. And there's a time frame, 24 months. 24 months.
Well, 2 years. Mean, if you're married, I think,
not if you're married. If you're
married, we're talking about dating.
Yeah.
But if you're dating and I ain't holding it down for 2 years.
No, I would say I would. If you have
we
shown,
broke up.
If you've been on your P's and Q's, you've held me down. I ain't had no issues with you. You holding stuff down for 2 years. I would. Outside of that, just because how I know how men are, especially dating in a relationship, what man is going to hold you down? Period. As soon as you get locked up and they close the jail cell, girl, please believe it's another bitch on the line. Do you hear me? It's plans for the night. So
these men ain't pet poos.
No, they not. They just.
And you ain't Remy, Ma.
Exactly. Generally, I feel like the answer should be no, but there's certain circumstances that could support that. Now, does that mean that I'm going to be 100% loyal? No, that means when you call, I'm going to be available. That means when you need some money on your books, I'll make sure there's money on your books. I'll write to you. Outside of the 24 months, that's it.
All right.
You're right, dear John. You can't get no money, but all right. So, general rule of thumb, don't take your ass to jail. You don't have to worry about if your lady's going to hold it down or not.
Especially if you messing with a Sagittarius.
Right. I'm a little bit more compassionate. And it just depends on who you are. But if we've escalated and moved to that type of relationship, then I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Okay. I can't.
Anything else along the lines of relationships that we wanted to talk about tonight?
No, I think I done said enough.
Said enough. All right, so everybody, in closing, love the ones who love you and mind the business that pays you. Nobody can ever determine what's going to be the best situation or outcome for you. It's just up for you to evaluate and make sure that you keep everything in line for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Make sure that
you can't love anyone else if you don't love yourself.
Exactly. It starts with self-love. Love who you are and what you bring to the table. And then once you establish self-worth and love for yourself, you're not going to tolerate no bullshit situations from anybody else.
Not only that, if you know who you are, you're a lot more better for the person that you're going to be with.
True. You should compliment each other. You know what I mean? You should absolutely compliment each other, but hurt people. So we hear it all the time. You know what I mean? Do what you need to do to heal yourself, to grow for yourself, and then you'll be able to love the ones around you even better.
And once you really find someone to love, I mean, this has been all fun, and we've talked a lot about all the ups and downs, but when you really love someone and you feel that love, I mean, I wish everybody could feel what I feel in my relationship. Absolutely. And how you and T love. Absolutely. I mean, you can actually look at a person's relationship and can tell that it's all love. Right. Because we have friendships with our husband.
Exactly.
And we're the same no matter who we're around, right. What's going on.
Right.
Our husbands know who we are.
Right. He see me at my best, my worst, my lowest points. You know, I feel like he is my best friend because there's things about me that I wouldn't openly, you know, just maybe talk to anyone about. Insecurities, things like that. He knows about me. You know what I mean? And from the beginning, it's hard to imagine how close and how much your relationship would grow into something like that. Yeah. I would have never predicted, you know. It's unconditional. Do you feel like it's unconditional?
It is unconditional. Even when I'm feeling my words, he the one pepping me up and, and you know, gassing me about whatever is going on. So I wish that love on everyone's relationship, that they would have that kind of blessing, because I definitely have a blessing in my husband.
Absolutely.
So you guys have a good Valentine's Day.
Thanks for tuning in, talking relationships with us. If you have any questions or if you have anything that you want to address about what we talked about tonight, add a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Bye.